Welcome back, students. Last time I asked you this question that if you have to purchase a plant and you have two options. One, you can buy it by paying rupees 10 lakh at the same time when you are purchasing it, means today. And another option you have that you can buy it for 11 lakh. But the payment you have to made in 5 years. Say every year you have to pay 2,20,000 rupees. So in 5 years you will be paying 11 lakh actually, not 10 lakh of the same plant. So I asked you that which one is a better option. Hmm? Provided you have the fund to pay 10 lakh at the same time. Now, whatever you have answered, let us let us have a good understanding of a concept called present value. As per this concept, it is said that money now is more valuable than money later on, right? So, if someone is giving you a promise that I can pay you 100 rupees after, say, 1 year or 2 year, and the same person paying you today 100 rupees. So, this 100 rupees paid today is more valuable, more worth than the money which you will receive after 1 year or 2 year. Why? Because the money which you are receiving today, you can use it. No, if you are not even using it, you can just deposit it into bank and you can get some interest on it, or you can invest it in some bank. You can invest it in some business and you can get a profit out of it, right? So this, take an example. If you can get 10% interest on your money, so the money which you have today, say this 1000, it will earn 10% interest on it. So in a year you will get 100 rupees, correct? So in this way, the money which is 1000 today, it will become after 1 year 1100, correct? So we can say the present value of, say, rupees 1000, it become in future 1100. Same way, the future value of 1100 is only 1000 at present. So the present value of this 1100, which will be after 1 year, is 1000 only. So 1000 now is the same as 1100 next year, because 10% interest is there. So in present, if you have this much, this will be equal to a greater amount in future, correct? So we can say the present value of rupees 1100 is next year going to become 1000 only. True. So we could turn this 1000 into 1100 if you could earn 10% interest on it. Now let us extend this idea further. See, this is being shown here that how to calculate the future value. Let us stay with 10% interest. Suppose the interest rate is 10%, that means money grows by 10% every year. So 1000 will become, means if you calculate the interest of 1000 and at the rate of 10%, it become 100. So next year it will be 1100. Same way, one more year, 10% of 1100 is equal to 110, it become 1210. Now 10% of 1210 will be rupees 121. So the next year it will become 1331, say so on. It will continue like this. So we can say 1100 next year is the same as 1000 now, and 1210 in second year is the same as 1000 now, and so on. In fact, all those amounts are the same considering when they occur at the, and the 10% interest is there, correct? But instead of adding 10% each year, there is a one easy way. We can multiply it by 1.10, right? How it has come, if you remember, in your class 9, 10, 7, 8, you must have studied the formula of compound interest. So it is based on that compound interest. I just let me remind you that this was the formula of the compound interest. You remember, here A is total amount after n years, P is the principal or the original value, what like in this case it was 1000. Then within bracket you will write 1 plus r upon 100 to the power n. So here r is rate of interest per annum, per year, and n is the number of years the money is invested. For 3 years, then you will write 3. Correct? So based on this formula, this has been calculated. So instead of adding here 10% each year, it is easy to multiply it by 1.10, or you can see here, na? Like 1000, if you multiply by 1.10, it will become 1100, then 1210, 1331, and you can see the same amount you are getting here. No, like when you calculated it, 1000 into 10% of this. So if you keep on adding, multiplying it, the same amount you will get here also, right? So I think it is clear now why I am multiplying it by 1.10. Now let us see it in a reverse way. Now that future back to now. So to see that money in the future is worth now how much? So let us go backwards, dividing by 1.10. We were multiplying it when we wanted to go from now to future. Now we want to come back to future to now. So we are dividing it by 1.10 each year instead of multiplying it, right? So 1000, if you divide it by 1.10, it becomes, no, see the same amount you are getting, like 1331 divided by 1.10, you will get 1210. If you divide 1210 from 1.10, you will get 1100. If you divide this 1100 by 1.10, now you will get this amount 1000, right? So suppose someone, Mr. Sam here, example has been taken, promises you to pay rupees 500 next year. So what is the present value of this? How will you calculate it? To take a future payment backward 1 year, we have to divide it by 1.10. So 500 next year is how much? So let us now divide it. 500 divided by 1.10. Can you see it? So if we divide 500 by 1.10, it becomes 454.55. Okay, so we are taking it to, 2 digit. So the present value is 454.55, which you will get next year as 500, right? So it's easy now to understand that, the future value is 500 and the present value of the same is 454 only. So present value is more than future value, correct? We can take few more example. Like Alex promises you that he will pay you 900 rupees in 3 years. So what would be the present value? Now you have to divide it by 1.10, but 3 times. So 900 divided by 1.10 divided by 1.10 divided by 1.10. So in this way, if you add it, how much you will get? 1.331. So 900 divided by 1.331 is equal to 676 rupees. So today's 676 rupees means 676.18 rupee is equal to 900 rupees after 3 years, right? So instead of multiplying it 1.103 times, it is better to use the exponent. It says that how many times to use the number in multiplication. So in the same example, 900 in 3 years, if you have to calculate in one go, you can divide it 900 divided by 1.10, and then you can put a power to this 3. So this will come. Now based on that we can come up with a formula. What is the formula? Present value if you have to calculate. So you can do it like future value divided by 1 plus r to the power n. Getting it? This is the same thing which we used to do here now. So if we use the formula here, this is future value, r is the interest rate, and n is the number of years. So if you apply this into the previous question 901, so what happens here? Present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus r to the power n. So here present value we want to calculate. So we are writing here future value is what? 900, and we are dividing it now by 1 plus rate is what? 10%. So instead of writing 10%, we are writing in decimal, that is 0.10 and to the power 3. So now you put the value 900 divided by 1.10 and to the power 3. So it will come 676 rupees. So can you see it here that this was which we calculated earlier. Na? 676 rupees now is 900 in 3 years. Correct? We can use few more example I have shown you here. Even if the interest rate is changed, you can calculate like this. So now with this understanding, I would again ask you to evaluate your answer. Whatever answer you have given, you just calculate this. So 11 lakh you are paying in 5 years. And suppose we take the equal installment, 2,20,000 each year. So 2,20,000 rupees you will pay today, then after 1 year, then after 2 years, then after 3 years, then after 4 years, and after 5 years. So in 5 years you are paying 11 lakh. So what is the current value? The present value of these 2,20,000. Make a table, do calculation, and then find out that how much is the present value of this 11 lakh. And then you will be able to understand that how if you compare it with this present 10 lakh. So if this amount 11 lakh is more than 10 lakh, then naturally we should not go for lease. But if this 11 lakh is means the present value of the 11 lakh is less than the 10 lakh, then we should go with the lease. Correct? So now it is very easy for us to make the decision that the investment which we want to make in the plant, that should be based on what. So whether we should get it on lease or we should purchase it. Correct? I explained you that what is capital budgeting technique. So out of these capital budgeting technique, this is one of the technique, net present value. Though it is not to that much detail in your syllabus, but I explained you to understand the meaning of this word capital budgeting technique. Correct? So you can easily understand that now what are the things which we have to make the which we have to consider before making a decision about the capital budgeting. Correct? In your MBA, when you will do with the financial management, then you all these techniques, capital budgeting, whatever I have shown here, it would be explained you in detail, and then you would be able to make the correct decision. Okay, so at this level, class 12, I think this much is enough.